Hello, everyone. This is Live Life Well TV host Robert Landau. I think I know why you're here. It's probably the same reason why I am here. It's to join together and partake of another more than interesting episode of a trivia program here on Live Life Well TV that we call Did You Know? So we'll be right back. We'd like to acknowledge insider.com. And here, with that said and done, is our first Did You Know? Did you know that a British woman says her daughter died 10 years ago from chewing too much gum? That's right. She passed from chewing too much gum. A few months after Samantha Jenkins' death, a potential answer as to why and how she passed emerged. While searching through Jenkins' drawers, her mom found countless chewing gum wrappers and receipts for the sale of said gum. Morgan, Samantha's mother, doesn't know exactly how much her daughter was chewing, just that she was chewing them every day and happened to have been buying at least a packet of gum a day, and on some days, maybe 2 packets of gum. A Google search had revealed that chewing too much gum could indeed be dangerous. 4 years later, a coroner flagged chewing gum as a potential contributor to Jenkins' death, which was ruled a cerebral hypoxia caused by convulsions and electrolyte depletion. The pathologist even said he had found 4 or 5 bright green lumps of gum in Jenkins' body. Gum can make you swallow air pockets, which can cause abdominal pain and bloat, which can be particularly painful for people with irritable bowel syndrome. It can also contain titanium dioxide, which can mess with your digestion. And it is also known that excessively chewing gum is also a common behavior among people with various eating disorders, such as anorexia nervosa, which happens to be one of the most deadly psychiatric disorders. Too much gum can also lead to jaw disorders and pain, and sugar containing gum can cause cavities. Yeah, but the dental risks are low enough, get this, that the American Dental Association gives gum its seal of acceptance, even going so far as to say that chewing gum after a meal can help neutralize and wash away acids. And you know what? Kudos to the American Dental Association, because that is probably true. You just don't want to chew gum excessively. And I think that's the point. Did you know that as of June 2021, there are more than 8 million empty homes in rural Japan, and local governments there are selling them for as little as $500 in a bid to lure residents to buy those 8 million empty homes in rural Japan? A recent report found that 13.6% of Japan's 62.42 million homes were actually unoccupied. The push to revitalize Japan's rural areas is a key part of the current prime minister's socioeconomic plans for that country. Prime Minister Suga made rural revitalization a cornerstone of his policy when he took office back in September, pledging in a November speech to stimulate the rural economy by boosting tourism and encouraging agricultural reform. The problem of empty houses in rural areas is not unique to just Japan. An Insider.com report recently stated that cities and towns across the US are offering people thousands of dollars and, in some case, free land to relocate. In Italy, the southern village of Cinque Frondi made the news when it started selling homes for €1, which is $1.14 US, to increase the town's population. And the town of Locana in northern Italy offered the same deal, but took it one step further by sweetening that deal by giving remote workers who have children a cash incentive of €9,000, which in dollars is 10,971, to move there to fill its deserted homes. Did you know that Utah grandmother's headstone, a Utah grandmother's headstone, includes her favorite fudge recipe? A woman in Utah left behind a very special message on her headstone. Catherine Andrews was buried next to her husband, Wade Andrews, in Utah's Logan Cemetery after she died in December of 2019 at 97 years of age. While the headstone includes typical features like birth and death dates, it also has her signature fudge recipe engraved on one side of the headstone. She really loved people, Janice Johnson, Catherine's daughter, said. She would write poetry and she would take fudge wherever and whenever people would get together. The idea to add Katie's fudge recipe to the headstone came when her husband passed in the year 2000. Photos of the headstone went wild and viral on social media just last week of the taping of this episode. And that viral thing absolutely surprised Kay and Wade's family members. Wow. Did you know that about 7% of all humans who have ever lived are alive today? About 108.2 billion people have ever been born in the history of the world, according to the Population Reference Bureau. And about 7.442 billion are alive today. Do the math, and I'm terrible at doing it, and you will see just how crazy population growth can be. Did you know that chicken brains are concentrated at the back of the skull, and there isn't much to begin with in the back of the skull of a chicken anyway? But for that reason, a decapitated chicken can survive for quite some time, thank you very much, living just off its nerve endings. Not a pretty picture if you think about it. Mike, the headless chicken, is perhaps the most famous example. Its owner, a farmer by the name of Lloyd Olson, chopped the chicken's head off back in 1945, but the chicken just didn't die. So the family kept him around and dropped food and water directly into its esophagus. Why? Because it didn't have a head anymore. It finally gave out after no less than 18 months and considerable media attention. So, I mean, folks, let's really look at this. Aren't you glad you tuned in? I mean, where else would you have known about Mike the Headless Chicken? Right? I mean, that changes one's life forever, don't you think? Did you know that there's a species of shark that can live for around 500 years? The Greenland shark has the longest lifespan of all known vertebrates, living an average of, get this, 272 years, and some of them can live to be around 500 years old. Did you know that the Guinness Book of World Records was first created to settle bar arguments? Oh, yes. The official origin story of the Guinness Book of World Records, the annual book, of course, that we all know about, that catalogs all of human achievement and then some, is that it was used to settle an argument over whether the golden plover or the red grouse happens to have been the fastest game bird in Europe. And just in case you want to know, it's the plover. One of the people arguing, a guy by the name of Sir Hugh Beaver, who was the managing director of the Guinness Brewery, noted that the answer was hard to find in reference books. So I think you know what's next. I think you know what he decided to do. Bing! Fabulously bright idea. So he started one to settle these kinds of trivial arguments. So he started a reference book, which he felt was missing to prove things when they would get into arguments. And the Guinness Book of World Records was born. The year was 1955. Did you know that human children don't get kneecap bones until they're around 3 years old? So yeah, up until the time that we were 3, you, me, and everyone else on this planet who is human did not have kneecaps. Sorry to have to be the one to break it to you. I know in time you will be able to deal with this heart-breaking information. It happens to take a while for children to get kneecaps. That part of the skeleton is called the patella. It starts out as cartilage and then ossifies into the bone at around toddler age. Did you know that a mantis shrimp can punch with the force of a .22 caliber bullet? So there may be issues with guns in the United States, but nobody knows about mantis shrimp. Mantis shrimp are so fast that their punch can't be seen with the human eye. Their punch can break through glass and is also used for hunting down prey. Mantis shrimps have other incredible properties. They see color like nothing else in the animal kingdom, with 12 different photoreceptor types. Did you know that one 18-inch pizza is more pizza than two 12-inch pizzas? If a pizza has a diameter of 18 inches, that means it has an area of 254.47 square inches. And if a pizza has a diameter of 12 inches, then it has an area of 113.1 square inches. So if you get 2 of them, you're at 226.2 square inches, which is still less than one 18-inch pizza. So the next time you're figuring out what size pizza to buy, use the price per square inch, not just what feels and looks right. Did you know that Harvard was founded before calculus was created? That's right. Certain types of mathematics were called calculus as far back as the ancient Egyptians, but calculus as we know it today was established by a guy by the name of Gottfried Leibniz and also a certain guy by the name of Isaac Newton, each independently in the late 17th century. Harvard University was founded in 1636, and it was founded first as Harvard College to ordain ministers. Therefore, Harvard is older than the creation of calculus. While Harvard is the oldest continuously operating university in the United States, it isn't even close to being the oldest one in the world. That would be a university in Fez, Morocco, which was established in 859. Along those lines, did you know that Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire? The Aztec Empire was founded in 1428, and the University of Oxford was founded in 1096. Did you know that more people live in Bangladesh than in Russia? Although Bangladesh is smaller than Russia, its population is 163 million people. The population of Russia is 144.3 million. Did you know that a banyan tree near Kolkata, India, is bigger than the average Walmart? I told you this was far out, unbelievable trivia, but it's true. The average Walmart store covers about 104,000 square feet. The great banyan tree in Kolkata, India, is about the size of a forest covering 155,000 square feet. That's quite a tree. With that, we've got two more Did You Knows for you before we take our leave, at least of this episode. Here's the second to last. Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer to the time Pizza Hut was founded than to when Egyptian pyramids were built? Oh, yes, that's right. The Egyptian pyramids at Giza were built around 2500 BCE. Cleopatra died in 30 BCE, so there's a gap of more than 2,400 years. The first Pizza Hut was founded in 1958, around 2,000 years from Cleopatra's life. And here is the last one, and it goes like this. Did you know that baby carrots were invented in 1986? Baby carrots are actually not baby carrots. In case you didn't know, they're just chopped up from normal carrots. A farmer by the name of Mike Urasek actually invented them in 1986 as a way to use misshapen carrots that weren't sold in stores. He put them in bags and sold them in supermarkets. By the early 1990s, they became the phenomenon that they are now. And we are going to close the phenomenon that we call Did You Know here on Live Life Well TV. I hope you had as good a time as I did, and I look forward to seeing you on the next astounding, absolutely incredible episode of Did You Know? This has been Robert Landau, Live Life Well TV host. Thanks for tuning in.